Hi, my name is Alteronce Gumby. I'm an artist, painter, creator from New York City.
Can you tell us a little bit about how you were raised, your upbringing and background?
Yeah, sure. I was raised in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. It's the capital of Pennsylvania, so a lot of government buildings, very much small city vibes in the United States, Northeast. I grew up very much a pastor kid, pastor's child, and was very much influenced by what was going on in pop culture, what I could see on the TV, what we were watching at the movie theater. Yeah, that was, everyone was really into, high school football and basketball was really the big thing. And, I wasn't too great of an athlete growing up, so I had to find other avenues to kind of, make it out.
Okay. What made you decide to go to art school?
I remember the first time I was really actually introduced to art was in, I believe, 2005. I was studying architecture at Harrisburg Area Community College, and it was my first semester, and the professor asked if I would like to go on a study abroad program for about 2 weeks under the architecture department. And the trip was to Spain for 2 weeks, and the first place we landed was in Barcelona. And there we did a walking tour of Anton Gaudi, and afterwards we had free tickets to go to the Picasso Museum. And that was the first time I actually seen the work of an artist, to walk through a art museum and really be, influenced by art in a really deep and connective way. When I went back to the States, I dropped out of architecture program because I felt like that just wasn't for me. Wasn't really the best at math. And it was then I decided that maybe I'd like to try my hand at a more creative field and, go back to school for art.
Thank you. So you told us a little bit about your background in music and architecture. So when you create your paintings, what's the process? How do you create your work and where do you get your inspiration?
Definitely thinking about, music. I listen to a lot of music. So it kind of widened my palette in terms of music. Where now in my studio on my Discover Weekly, I kind of listen to a little bit of everything. So I think that range or exposure of kind of just widening the things that I'm kind of bringing into, my studio space while I'm working kind of just is adding me to kind of also think a little bit more broader about how I'm interpreting a painting or how I'm constructing a painting or how I'm building an image or an experience into that painting. All these things are kind of just, I kind of just take and just add to, my scrapbook, my memory bank, my lexicon, and, kind of pull from them the things that I like or the tools that I feel like I need to work through my painting to kind of get myself into trouble and then figure out some ways to resolve the solution and find my way out. And that has allowed me to explore with, many different concepts and aesthetics and approaches to making a painting, which, kind of leads me to the work that I'm making today, where it's a much alternative medium, gemstones and glass.
So for this show in Tokyo, you created new works, and the title of the exhibition is "It Was All a Dream." Can you tell us a little bit about the concept of the title and where does the title come from?
Yeah, so the title comes from really the first line from the Notorious B.I.G. Juicy song. And that was actually the first CD or album that my father actually purchased for me and my brother. With the CD, you can just listen to it as many times as you want. And I remember just, we kind of like memorized the song. You know, before you know it, you just hear it so many times, you just memorize it. And yeah, you know, it was like, it was all a dream, you know, and it was almost like it was just embedded in me. So when I was thinking of, you know, at the time we were thinking about the show and making the work, and you know, thinking about, you know, coming to Japan and showing, you know, my work, you know, the art history, the culture of Japan, you know, it's such a distant place from where I grew up, and it almost felt like a dream to be able to come here, especially in these circumstances. I'm just an abundance of gratitude to be here and to know that it kind of, you know, everything that you dream about can be manifest and can happen. So I think the title of the show is just kind of an acknowledgement of that moment.
So for this exhibition, you also created Jikwe prints, and what made you decide to create the prints this time?
Yeah, you know, I've always wanted to make a body of prints. You know, I like prints. I like works on paper. I usually do watercolors, and you know, there's usually a season around this time of the year where I usually do a series of watercolors for myself, just to, you know, have a different perspective on material and color and techniques. And, you know, actually going to Yale, I graduated from the Painting and Printmaking department. So I definitely still wanted the prints to have a sensibility to the process of painting. So with the images, you know, this collaged images of, you know, images from the Hubble telescope from NASA, I also kind of embellished them by painting over top of them and adding some materials that you also find within the paintings, which is glass. I feel like I'm always looking at images from outer space. I actually have this interest in the cosmos. When I'm making my paintings, I'm thinking of them as these cosmic landscapes. And with those landscapes, you're really referencing these places that, you know, we know exist in the universe, but we as human beings have not physically seen them. And so you know, I can only really see these, you know, see these cosmic landscapes through my imagination. And with the Hubble telescope, we're actually able to get, you know, images from the outer regions of our galaxy, of our solar system, and, you know, kind of get a glimpse of what's going on out there. And within these prints, I'm actually layering about 4 to 5 images from the NASA Hubble telescope. So you're seeing a nebula cloud, which is pretty much an exploding star, as well as multiple images of snippets of galaxies or stars. So within each image, within the image, you're actually probably seeing either 1 million to 1 trillion stars within the image that I kind of collaged. And to me, that just adds to the expansiveness of the image. You know, you think you're looking at a single image of maybe one thing, but actually you're looking I had an image of, you know, a million possibilities of worlds and places that exist. And that's fascinating to me. I think that's something that really changes my perspective. You know, I love walking around and, of course, you know, taking what's, you know, inspiring or referencing the physical world here. But I think there's also this other part of me that's constantly, you know, considering the things that I don't know and places that I haven't been. And that kind of allows me to keep searching and to keep dreaming and, you know, to keep thinking about what else could there be that I could, you know, bring into my work. So yeah, I think the prints, for me, I've always wanted to work with, you know, collaborate with NASA in some way, shape, or form. And I feel like this is probably the first time I've actually done that.
Great, thank you. Anything you want to add?
Yeah, it's funny. I was thinking about the image, you know, with the image from NASA, or the print image, you know, I feel like people will look at it initially, you know, think of it as just like an abstract image. But it's actually probably, it's highly representational in a way. And for me, that's a little bit of a shift, you know, from you know, I'm really invested in the history of abstraction and being you know, an abstract painter, but also just being an artist and letting whatever comes to me kind of influence me in that way. So, but yeah, I don't know, it's just something I've been, you know, considering and thinking about because it's kind of a shift for me. So, but I'm open to it.
Do you have a message towards the audience or people in Japan?
Thank you for having me. It's a really great show, and I hope to be back soon in Tokyo or Japan. Pretty sure I will be. It's such a beautiful place, and yeah, definitely be visiting more often.
Thank you.
Thank you. Arigatou gozaimasu.